Okay, I'm here. Hello. Sorry for the delay. I had to gobble down some food because we ordered takeaway and it was 45 minutes late. So just wanted to. I don't want my stomach to be growling on camera. That would be a very bad thing. All right, let's see. Richard's here. Kasim, hello. Mimalek, hello. You haven't been here for a while, have you? That's good to see you. And Zenka, welcome. Um, there was also um, well, the handle is Power Remix. We are alone. I'm just gonna say Power. I don't know if they're still here, but there was a load of questions about sigil magic that was left in the chat. So Power, if you're here, let me know. I can answer those now. Otherwise, I'll wait for a little while just to see if you pop on, and then we'll go through them. I've got them over here on a separate file, so it's all good. All right. B2 Herman, hello, hello. And Psycat, thanks for joining. It's just yes, Psycat, thank you very much. All right. Okay. Um, no music today, and it's not because it messes with copyright. It was actually brought to my attention that with the auto captions for deaf people, it becomes a huge problem because sometimes every now and again there's like a word from the song that pops up and it mixes in with what I'm talking about, and yeah, it becomes a bit of an issue. So I'm gonna leave the music off, and that should help everybody then. Um, Kasim, you asked Lee. I wanted to ask you, but what is your opinion about Lilith? Did you ever work with her? I actually haven't worked with Lilith. Well, I've called Lilith before, but I called Lilith for somebody else. And what I found interesting was that when she came through, it was exactly the same visual stimulus that I get when I call Hecate. Um, so I feel this is kind of like what we were talking about last week. Alexis, hi, thanks for joining. I'm good, thank you. Um, it's like kind of like what we were talking about last week when I think we got rudely cut off by YouTube. Um, so if you follow the development of Lilith, all right, so Lilith wasn't originally this benevolent being. It was a very, very malevolent entity and kind of emerged, not everybody believes this, but kind of emerged out of the Sumerian Lili and Lilu, which were wind demons, masculine and feminine. Um, so it was a group of entities, not just a singular being. We also have the stories of Lamashtu that come in there, that Pazuzu had to control and temper the wind demons and everything else. Um, so it started out with this idea, and then I don't know if it was I know it was part of Lamashtu's mythology, who became eater of children and things like this. And then that kind of developed into the Hebraic aspects of Lilith being this eater of children, demoness kind of entity. All right. Then we have all of these other mythologies that pop up along the way. And one of them, which has formed a huge, huge part of our modern mythologies, is that Lilith was the first wife of Adam, and then she got pissed off because she refused to lie beneath him, and therefore was kicked out of Eden, etc., etc. That whole story that goes along with that mythology. Now, the problem there is that that actually comes from the alphabet of Ben Sira, the alphabet of Ben Sira. Okay, it's a satire. It's a parody. It was written as pure fiction and supposed to be presented as a comedy. So it doesn't form mythology anywhere in history. It was just totally, utterly made up. Okay, but we've seemed to have somebody picked it up and said, "Hey, this sounds cool. Let's run with it." And now tons and tons and tons of people believe it. Um, so there's that aspect. But now what's happened is the the archetype of Lilith has evolved into this more benevolent entity who is the protector of women and children, who is guardian entity rather than this malevolent entity. Um, Hi, Chrissy. Thanks for joining. Sorry, you came right in the middle of me explaining the whole Lilith mythology. So, yeah, so anyway, so Lilith has become this entity which is benevolent. And when I called Lilith for somebody else, as I said, it came through as very much a Hecate feeling and visuals and everything else. And I think that it really has to do with the idea that Lilith is kind of like morphed from a facet of Hecate, and it's kind of like a break off or a mask that has formed and become this idea of this modern Lilith. But the two, I think, if you look in mythology, very, very different, if you ask me. There's nothing wrong with this modern Lilith. It's a very positive entity, and I think just because we use the word egregore doesn't lessen the power behind an entity. Egregores are incredibly powerful. So yeah, there is that. Right. So I think that explains that. As I say, we got like really cut off last week, right in the middle of that. So I thought I'd cover it. And you asked. All right. So let's see who else. Okay. Herman. Okay, I'll come to your. You did ask first, so I'm going to actually do your question first, but you retracted it, but it's now down here. What are your thoughts on Santa Muerte? I I don't know if Castle's on yet. Castle on that comes onto the lives quite often is a dedicant of Santa Muerte. My own, I wouldn't say feelings, but Santa Muerte I feel is very, very much culturally based and definitely not part of my culture. And therefore I do not follow Santa Muerte in the slightest because it's just completely out of my. It would be appropriation if I did. That's my feelings. I know a lot of people carry on. Oh yeah, Santa Muerte, is for everybody and everything. No, I don't feel that way. Um, and the other aspect which I find interesting here is there is a brujeria. John Allen Cross. Let me just make sure I've got the name right. J. Allen Cross. He wrote American Brujeria, which is a fantastic book. It's brilliant. Yes, J. Allen Cross. Now, he and somebody else used to do a podcast, and I remember him mentioning working with Santa Muerte and something that I've never heard anybody mention. I thought was just brilliant. Um, Santa Muerte is death. Okay, not kind of a representation of death or an aspect of death. Santa Muerte is death. Okay, so if you actually bring Santa Muerte into your home, you bring death into your home. So you don't worship, if you are a dedicant or a worshiper, I know a lot of people do, and they don't find any difficulties and problems. I'm just relaying what I heard. This is for information that came from a brujeria, not from me, but I think it is valid. So you go and worship Santa Muerte outside your own home, in at a shrine or something like that, which is outside. You don't bring death into your home, and I thought that was very, very valid. So definitely worth mentioning. All right, so let me go back. Alexis, this is so interesting. I'm a main figure in the spirit world and occultism. So many layers, so many opinions. Oh yeah, absolutely. Lilith has become one of the biggest figures. I mean, I remember 20 years ago, Lilith was kind of like big, but now, oh, goodness me. And same with Hecate as well. Hecate is also grown. Um, I have a theory why Hecate has become so popular, but it's probably my own theory. But anyway, um, all right. Psychiat, spiritual doctor, Mr. Johnson. Yes, Psychiat Das Shama. Will it be comfortable for you if I email you with an email bothering me for close to 10 years? I don't want to be a freeloader, however. Yeah, no, email. Thanks for asking. So just go to, it's webleydev@gmail.com is the easiest one to use. It's the one listed on my YouTube contact information. So yeah. Herman, I don't know if we answered that one. All right, Chrissy. I invoked her. It was super duper intense, and I had to shut it down with enough for that time. Yeah, very intense energy, and I do find this with a lot of the deities and daemons, etc. Especially ones that are chthonic, because they are more terrestrial. Their energy resonates at a vibration that we're closer to. You know, not I can't really say that. I mean, if you look at a celestial entity, it's a the energy that comes through is bigger, which can feel more potent. So I think it's a different feeling, I suppose, but potency is definitely there. But it's just with the chthonic spirits, we kind of have more of a physical, personal connection to it. So it feels rather intense sometimes. Um, Alexis, oh, hang on. I might be getting Lilith and Santa Muerte mixed up in the discussion here. I'm not sure if Chrissy was talking about Lilith or Santa Muerte there. So, but I'll carry on in the order. There we go. So Alexis said, for me, Lady Lilith has been protective and providing emotional healing, understanding my child self, but I have only worked briefly. That's fine. At the end of the day, as we say, it's what works, you know. And if it works, it works. At the same time, we want to make sure we don't throw ourselves into some kind of illusory state that leads to spiritual psychosis and all of that stuff. So, kind of have to check bases and things like that, which is why we have communities like this where you can come together and ask questions and talk, and somebody else has probably had a similar experience. So yeah, it helps. Sorry, I just want to grab something. Yeah. All right. Chrissy said Santa Muerte came through a live reading before and asked the reader to ask me to work with her. What the fuck? Could it be a trick? No, I wouldn't say it's a trick. Um, the best thing what I would do if that happened to me personally, what I would do is actually do some of personal divination. So I would just check that it was Santa Muerte and it wasn't some other spirit or parasitic entity or something like that was coming through the person. If you are unsure of your own divination, go to another reader, ask for confirmation. You always have to have to kind of ask for confirmation. It's very important, no matter what it is. Always back up what information you've been given, and at the same time, you don't have to say yes. That is also very important. Don't think that just because a deity comes to you and says, you will work with me, that you have to say yes. No, you do not. It's your decision, it's your sovereignty. You get to choose what you want to do with your life. All right. There may be situations like I had with Hecate where I didn't want to work with Hecate. I had absolutely no desire to work with Hecate and in any kind of format, especially devotional. Um, but she kept knocking at my door for several years, and eventually I opened it. Glad I did, but I didn't want to. I kept saying no, and she was very, very persistent. So eventually I did, and here we are. But just remember, you don't have to say yes. It's your decision at the end of the day. Okay? Because a lot of people feel it's a god. I have to say what they tell me to do. No, you do not at all. All right. Alexis said thanks. I was Looking for the word culturally based, although there is that with every spirit to some level. There is to some level, yeah. I mean, I think with a lot of spirits, I mean, if you look at like European gods, for instance, you're not going to have much of a trouble because there's no closed practice. But when it comes to Latino-based Southern conjure, hoodoo, things that are based in an ancestry which was oppressed to the point of genocide. I mean, what they what what white people did to like the Native Americans is absolutely disgusting. It really is. It was stripping their culture down to the point where it didn't even exist anymore, and they kept it alive, which is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing. But those kind of things you have to tread carefully because it's not your culture, or if it's not your culture. Um, but yeah, European stuff a lot more open. We're not really worried about that kind of stuff. Um, who was I? Chrissy. I naturally have always used her special things without knowing. That's great advice. Okay, good stuff. Um, you said searching for your tribe and or mentor type. It is a search that I think when you find your tribe, you know it. There's going to be people within your tribe that you would instantly click with. There's no, it feels like, you just met them like a minute ago, but it feels like you've known them for centuries. Um, you have that kind of instant connection with a lot of people. Other people in your own tribe, not so much of a strong connection, but they come to you from lifetime to lifetime because, in a sense, you are all one big soul, and you will find yourself. You find yourself back to your soul eventually. So, as far as community goes, this is a great community. I love this community. Um, and I think when it comes to community, it's definitely one of those things that it's not a Facebook group with 100,000 people on it. Community is a tight-knit group of people. Um, and I would even go to the point where I would say that this isn't technically a community. It is because it's still quite a small group, and it's not hundreds and thousands of messages like flying by. And we all kind of connect each week, but real community comes and a coven really boils down to a handful of people that you trust with your life. You know, that's your coven. So but this is definitely a community. I mean, don't get me wrong. We have our community here, and it's fantastic. Um, Psycho, so thank you. What would be an appropriate time and day to reach out? Time you'll reach. Well, if you're sending an email, I'll read the email you as soon as I can. Which is why text is better because at least if I'm busy, I can read it at some point. So yeah, just send an email. Alexis, I agree about a closer dimension. I don't know, but I always felt closer connection, easier connecting with pagan deities and daemons rather than angels and celestials. Yeah, I do too. And it is as we keep saying on this channel, it's when you're talking about celestial entities, angels, they are concerned with the bigger things of the cosmos. They're not really concerned with an individual human being. So it is very difficult to connect with them unless you're connecting with some kind of egregore. Oh, yeah, we've got Alexis 2 on today. Hello. I'm gonna have to go with Alexis 1, Alexis 2 today. So, right, Alexis 2, Belial, Behemoth, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Satanas, Lucifer, and Archangelo. Okay. Oops. I hope I didn't Break YouTube policies. No, I think it was the music last week. I'm not. Oh, there's more people on now, so I might as well let you know. I'm not going to do music now. Um, there's sometimes a bit of a problem with the copyrights and stuff, but mostly what happens is I get told that I can't monetize my video, which I don't do anyway. But I get like a notification that it picks up each song, and it says that any proceeds made from the song get sent to the author, the artist. And I'm very happy with that, but it seems to cause a problem. But the main reason is I was made aware that deaf people have a problem with it, with the auto captions. So you know, if the words from the song come up in the background and it kind of fills in with what I'm saying at the same time, it becomes very difficult for deaf people to actually follow and understand what the hell's going on. So, with that in mind, I'm going to leave the music off. It's a bit weird because I don't have my headphones on. I feel like I'm missing something. Um, Alexis, personal divination is a must, or try to get second, third opinion from others. Yeah, it's actually the reason why we, uh, when we say learn a divination tool or divination method, it's usually learn at least two, because you'll get an answer through one and you want to confirm it, and you're going to need to confirm it with a different system, with a different method. So, kind of usually learn two different methods of divination. If you can do three, that's fantastic, brilliant. Yeah, even more of a backup. But yeah, always confirm things, especially important messages that come through. Always confirm them. Power. Ah, you're here. Can you please answer those questions regarding sigil magic? Yes, I will. All right. I was just wanted to make sure you were here before I did that. All right. So I'm going to read all of them, and then we'll go through the answers. So you said, I wanted to ask you something about sigil magic because this is something I generally struggle with. I always hear people say you're supposed to forget a sigil after charging it, but that's hard for me because I tend to overthink and get mentally stuck on things. That made me wonder, if someone naturally can't just stop thinking about something, does that mean sigil magic doesn't work well for that type of person? Um, okay, all right, I'm going to stop there then and answer that. So, if that were the case, then nobody would be able to do sigil magic. You are not the only person who has difficulty with this. It is something that you train. It really is as simple as that. You just keep practicing. You actually train your mind to get to that point where you do something and you just forget about it. Okay, and the reason you forget about it is so that you don't keep firing conscious thoughts at the thing that you're trying to send out into the cosmos, because then it just hacks away at it and it short circuits the whole thing. So you need to let it go on its way. And in order to do that, you stop pulling it back. You just let it go, which means you forget about it. So, and everybody struggles with it. Really, everybody does. So it really is something you train your mind to do. And in the early stages, what you can do is just do something else. Watch a movie, read a book, go and get something to eat and a cup of hot chocolate or something. Just do something which takes your mind off it. And that doesn't just apply to sigil magic, by the way, that applies to all forms of magic. And this is why when we come to um, um, the four pillars, or the magician's maxim, or the witch's pyramid, or whatever we want to call it, to know, to dare, to will, to keep silent. This is the keep silent part. So once you've done all the other three and you've sent the magic on its way, you now need to keep silent from yourself, not just everybody else, but from yourself. Um, and it's just part of the training. It really is. So I don't think that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are quite capable of doing all this. You just need to go through the training process. All right, then you said, also what confuses me is that with some rituals involving demon seals or spirit seals, people don't seem to say you have to completely forget afterward. And if someone naturally overthinks and can't easily let things go, are there other forms of magic or ritual that don't depend so much on forgetting but can still work? Right, so you don't actually need to get rid of the seals and sigils that you create. We do that in the beginning for the pure reason of trying to not keep pulling it back because we keep bringing our attention to it and we're not letting it go on its way. Um, so with demon seals or spirit seals work slightly differently. They're kind of like you focus on them in order to unlock a key type of thing. All right. With sigil magic, it's a very kind of quick format. So you create the sigil, you activate it, you pass that into your unconscious mind, and then you let it go on its way. All right, so you forget about it. You stop interfering with it. If we change the wording, it's from forget about what you did to stop interfering with it. Maybe that will make a slight difference in the understanding. Um, and as I said, this goes with any form of magic, any form of spell work. You need to let it go on its way and stop interfering with its process. Otherwise, it doesn't it doesn't reach its target, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. That's really what it's all about. So, and as I said in the beginning, that's why we say forget about it, burn the sigil, leave it in a box until you can't remember what it actually represents, because then that actually makes it easier because the conscious mind can't latch onto it, can't interfere with it. But the unconscious mind still remembers what it was because it understands. You know, it remembers. The unconscious mind remembers everything. It's got no filters. The reason we use trance to project from the conscious to the unconscious is because that bypasses the psychic sensors or the filters that we have in our brain between the conscious and the unconscious. And the conscious filters out thousands and thousands of stimuli every second. So yeah, that's why we do that. Right. Right. You did say okay, thanks, sir. I take it you've got it. Okay. Moving on then. Chrissy, thank you. I had instant love for you. Oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Crack Bite, hello. I haven't seen you in a while. As much as I'd like to watch your stream, but the summer heat is cooking my brain cells. So until next time, have a good one. I'll see you hopefully soon. Um, Chrissy, yes, it covered on a agoraphobic word. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, that does make it kind of. You can do it online. There's no reason why you can't do it online if that helps. But again, it's just this idea that we have this modern idea with social media that a coven is a group of 100,000 people on Facebook, and it's not. A coven is, well, it kind of is, but it shouldn't be. Let's put it that way. A coven should be a group of tight-knit people who all know each other, who all trust each other, and you know you can all get together and have a good laugh and a chat and a good bitch session as well is always good for a coven. Um, and you know, but you can't do that with hundreds of thousands of people in a Facebook group. It's not the same. So yeah, but as I said, there's nothing wrong with doing it online on a over a Zoom call. I am part of a coven. We are scattered all over the world. So we definitely can't get together physically, but we get together online and we just chat and talk. And a coven doesn't need to be initiatory or you get together and you do rituals and seasonal celebrations and all that. It can just be getting together, having a glass of wine, and talking about magic. That's a coven. So do what you need to do, really. Alexis one. About worshipping or working with spirits we are not sure wouldn't be obvious to them when we don't actually want to do it or feel interest. I'm like I can't hide how I feel and force things. It's fine if you don't want to work with them. It's not like they're not going to be upset or anything like that. They don't have the same ego as we do. Um, but at the same time, even if it was a human being, if they told you you will work with me, you will do this for me, and you don't want to, you tell them to piss off. You don't have to work with any human being or spirit. It's totally your choice. Um, so yeah, no, don't feel forced into any kind of interaction. I mean, I remember having a communication from Asmodeus once, um, and it wasn't anything lurid or malevolent or anything like that, but I just felt like I wasn't quite sure if it was something I should be doing. So I did some divination. First thing I asked was it actually Asmodeus who gave me this communication? Just in case it was a parasitic entity. Yes, it was. All right, so I got through that part. Yes, it was definitely Asmodeus. Should I do what he asked me to do? No, definitely not. So I didn't. All right. Is he pissed off with me? If he is, I don't. It's not my problem. Um, as I say, they don't have egos like we do, so it's a bit of a different interaction. Um, all right, so Alexis 2. Could someone use a rectangular cloth with pentagram instead of drawing a circle on the ground? I think some ancient manuscripts suggest so, something like a magic carpet. So what you're really referring to here is the squared circle. Um, so the circle, if you draw a circle within a square, the circle meets at 4 points, which are the cardinal points, and then the corners of the square then form the intercardinal, intercardinary, the southwest, northwest, those points. So you then get 8 points into the circle, but it's the squared circle at the end of the day. So yeah, you can. And if you have a rectangular cloth, you can draw a circle in it, and then you've got a circle. So, you know, do either or. Um, but why is a circle so important? If you are trying to create a protective space, okay, this is where the circle becomes important. If you're trying to create a protective space that you want to sit in and make sure that you're interacting with the spirits you want to interact with and call only those entities into your space, you want a circle, not a square. And the reason being, a circle is a continuous shape, it has no corners, right? So the energy cannot collect at any point and push through, because it just keeps going round and round and round. If you introduce a triangle into that space, or a square, you've got corners. What happens is the energy starts to build up in the corners, and it forces and it creates a tension, and it pushes through. Okay, this is why we use circles, and not kind of like a wibbly wobbly amoeboid kind of circle, a real circle, which is why in a lot of grimoires, in a lot of in traditional witchcraft, you see it as well, where they'll put a post in the center, quite often the stang. Well, I've heard it being the stang sometimes, but usually a post to mark a kind of stake in the ground, and then you take a rope or a string and you tie it to that, and you have your dagger or a stick, or depending on tradition, but you have your dagger or whatever on the other end, and you go around in a circle, and this creates a compass, which creates a perfect circle going all the way around. Okay, and then it is a circle. It's not like all this sticks out a bit here and this sticks out a bit there. That's if you, as I said, if you want a protective space. Okay, so that's that one. Jersey, hello Jersey. Thanks for joining. Um, I know you'll be interested. Heka, I got an email from Six yesterday. Hecker's gonna bring out a new EP in the next couple of weeks. I'm actually gonna put the link to their Bandcamp here. It's gonna be fucking awesome because they each song is gonna have a sigil attached to it. So you can actually use the song to activate the sigil, and it's going to be for all sorts of things. Here's the link to their Bandcamp, so you can keep an eye on that. Widdershins is out now, but not the whole EP. And when they do bring out the EP, what happens is you kind of once you purchase it, you get a. Oh, now everything's stuck. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm still here. Waiting for connection. Why am I waiting for connection? If you can hear me, please hold. Everything just froze on my computer. Come on, come on. Okay. Oop, oop, oop. There we go. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. I think I'm back. All right. So what I was saying. Yeah. Sorry, everything just froze. All right. So when they do bring the EP out, what they usually do is they have a PDF zine that comes along with it, and the zine in this case is actually explaining all the sigils connected with each of the songs. So yeah, it's going to be bloody brilliant. All right. Let's see. Going back to Alexis 1. Um, isn't that Chrissy asked if isn't that a message from the beyond or such? Are you talking about my green screen? The frozen computer? Hopefully not. It's bloody Mercury retrograde. It's just starting tomorrow, so it's just about stationing, and it's causing havoc already. Oh, I don't even want to know the rest of it. All right, Alexis, 1. Thanks, Lee, for confirming reassuring. I guess many spirits like you, cause you are respectful and skilled, so they'd be upset if you said no. No, no, I don't think so at all. Oh, sorry, you're laughing. Okay, right, joke. Right. But no, as I said, don't think that they would be upset with you just because you said no, you don't want to work with them, and they've kind of come to you and said, oh, let's do this together. It's not, you're not going to have any problem with that. Chris Asmodeus, very familiar with him. Problematic with dead lovers and my grandma's dead husbands, 5 at least each. I found his story in the book of Tobias, and I'm still supposed to gut a fish. Yeah, that's part of the mythology. But yeah, um, I think when we work with these entities, we're working with egregoric aspects. Over centuries they've adjusted and changed, and it's usually because different cultures, different tribes, different regions kind of work with the entities differently, so they morph over time, which is why some of the older rules don't really apply anymore. Luna, hello Luna. I hope you're doing well. All right, Alexis 1. Actually, Asmodeus sigil was the very first sigil I drew. Felt proud of myself, but I did it more of fun curiosity rather than trying to call him. Yeah. I must say, I mean, this is one thing that does actually come up is I'm not an artist, I can't draw the sigils. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you look at the original sigils in the original grimoires, they're not very artistic. The Ars Goetia that Mathers and Crowley kind of brought out, published, they had these refined sigils, and Grimorium Verum as well. I mean, you look at the sigil of Lucifer now, which everybody kind of goes to immediately. It's a very refined picture or image or yeah, image, visual. Um, but these sigils were like really rough. Um, the Lucifer sigil was kind of like flat and skewed, and it wasn't this refined upright sigil. You go and look at the originals from the Goetia, and they're just these rough kind of drawings. So you don't have to be an artist to draw these things. Just a near enough simulation or simile. Um, so look, Alexis, we can hear you. Oh, okay, beautiful green. uh, all right then, Psycat, write an email trying to keep the mail concise. No problem. Luna, you sound like such a. Is that model? What's a model? Oh, such a Midlander. Okay, right. When you say bloody brilliant, yeah, because I am a bloody Midlander. What are you talking about? Coventry born. Never take the kid out of me. Agatha, hello. Thanks for joining. Luna said Mercury Retro hitting me hard. Yeah, I actually had to. I came on like 10 minutes late because we'd ordered takeaway, and it was held up by 45 minutes. It got here just as I was starting, so I had to gobble my food down and then come on the live. So gonna seem to gonna be a lot of delays to this retrograde, I think. Alexis, Luna agreed. Love the bloody brilliant. Agatha, my parrot heard you welcome Luna, Lee, and then she said hello. Hello, Luna. I assume your parrot's name's Luna as well. Here you go. Yeah. Now, Luna, we're gonna call you a. You're gonna be a parrot from now on. Right. There we go. That was got through that chat. Now we wait for the next lot. Um. While we've got a break, I can actually. There's going to be some changes to the channel. Um, not so much next month, but probably starting in August. I'm not going to do the movie review anymore. And then the book review I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be recording the book review. I do it as I do with the book club, which is actually today after this. And then what I'll do, I'll just edit that and cut out some bits here and there and just refine it and post that. I'm trying to free up some time because just this is actually taking up too much time. I can't get to the writing that I need to do because I got to write this book and so I can have the masterclass ready. So trying to free up some time. But what I will be doing is adding two more lives on a Tuesday and a Thursday. They're going to be short lives. They're going to be like 20 minutes long, and it's really going to be me just talking, giving information rather than chatting like we do on Sundays. The one live is going to be I always forget the bloody name of it. Hold on. What did I call it now? Something and babble. It's going to be a news one. It's going to be, spill the tea kind of thing. Let people know what's happening, not just with me, but also with the community and things like that. Hold on. Where did I put this now? Oh, you'll find out what it is anyway. So yeah, there's going to be that one. And then the second one, which is probably going to be on Thursday, is going to be Hidden History, which is more to do with having a look at different aspects of folk magic. and folk witchcraft, and looking at people in history as well, like Dorian Valiente, Robert Cochrane, just exploring who they were, bringing attention to them, because that history is actually very important, and we seem to be missing it. Um, it's things have changed, especially in practices. Things have actually been taken totally out of context from what their original forms were, and no problem with, you know, um, magical methods evolving. That's fine, but when you completely utterly miss the point of why you were doing it in the first place, um, then it becomes something something which is, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel real anymore. But yeah. But anyway, we'll do that and we'll see how it goes. Because the lives I don't need to prepare for really. Oh, I'm gonna obviously prepare for these because I need the information. But it's the prep's quite quick. But then I just get on, I do it. There's no editing and uploading and everything else afterwards. It's done. So yeah, it should hopefully free up a lot of time, and I still maintain presence on YouTube. So that should be good. Um, Can you explain retrograde? I'll try. No, actually, I can't. I know why. I know what it does, but for me to try and put it in words is very difficult. I'm not an astrologer. Um, yeah, I'm not even gonna try. I'm actually not gonna try. That will be kind of scary. Yeah, I'm gonna move on from that one. All right, Luna said, "Hello, parrot." I'm not a parrot. I'm a bloody Midlander. Okay, all right. Um, and Richard Weekly live sound interesting. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to them. Next month is still just going to be the usual lineup anyway. I'll probably do some try and do. I'll just start introducing the lives next month. See how they go. But yeah, hopefully it will free up some time. Because as I said, I've gone through the past 2 weeks, and all it's been is scripting, recording, editing, uploading of YouTube videos, plus all the other work that I do, plus trying to sort out stuff for the masterclass that's coming up in September. It's just too much on my plate at the moment. Yeah, Luna said we need Rev Kai. Yeah, they would be able to explain it without a problem at all. Tan, hello. I'm just going to say Tan, it's easier. All the power to you, my friend. Take good care. Thank you. All right. Yeah, read retrograde. Yeah, I'm actually surprised I'm not stumbling over my words. Let's do an exploration together because it's chat's not crazy today. Um, this will help me put it into the words. Loton, hello. Thanks for joining. All right, so let's see. When viewed from Earth, a planet appears to slow down, stop, and move backward across the sky. Doesn't really explain it. Planets do not physically reverse their orbits. Yes, we know that. It is simply it's an optical illusion caused by Earth passing an outer planet in its orbit. Similar to how a slower car on a highway appears to move backward when you drive past it. That still doesn't explain it, I know. Yeah, all of this astrology stuff goes over my head, by the way. It's crazy shit. I don't know how these guys do it. Yeah, it is an optical illusion, I know that, from a physical perspective, but yeah, from a astrological perspective, I don't know. I'm gonna get other people to answer that one for you. Yeah, you said fair enough, we retrograde. My parrots laughed when you answered. The same way about astrology, too complex. but I think it retrogrades do affect people. Oh, they definitely do, and they affect everybody in different ways, and depending on what else is going on at the time, it's going to affect each person in different ways, each retrograde. So this is, I mean, everybody kind of like goes, oh no, Mercury retrograde is coming up, prepare for it and everything else. It's just a time to reflect, to go back. Yes, you might have an ex pop up in your life. You might have some communication problems. So just be aware of those things. If you if you are partial to having communication problems when there's a Mercury retrograde, just double check your emails before you send them. That's all it really boils down to. So it's good to know when it's coming so that you can prepare for it. Anything to do with astrology. That's why we use astrology. Um, but it's why I have an astrologer because I can't do it myself. So I can rely on them to give me all the answers I need. Yeah. Um, Lowton, to be fair, retrogrades are one of the more complex astrological phenomena. Okay, I thought they were much more complex things than that. But anyway, yeah, as I said, pew over my head. Um, I guess they're going to look it up. Yes, you go look it up. You can find the answer and you can come back and report to us, okay? There's a good idea. Next, for me, retrograde periods are often the most successful and pleasant because most of my planets in my natal map are retrograde already. Absolutely. This is why I say it's so different for everybody. And if you do have retrograde planet, like for me, for instance, I was born during a Mars retrograde. And so every second year, when Mars goes in retrograde, my finances are brilliant. I love it. All of a sudden, I start making more money, like for that, 4 or 5 months, I think it is. So, but it's only every couple of years. I wish it was every year. Yeah, if it was like bloody Mercury retrograde, I'd be swimming in it. But yeah, everybody else is like, oh no, Mars retrograde. I think it's fantastic. Luna, also problems with transport delays. Yes, absolutely. Transport delays. My takeaway got delayed today. Um, computers as well, technology, and all of that stuff tends to have a bit of a upsie every now and again. So yeah, Um, like I said, it isn't Mercury all about communication? So Mercury retrograde would definitely mean troubles with communication. Is that what? Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. When it goes into retrograde, communication becomes difficult. But it's also Mercury's also got to do with commerce, contracts, all of that stuff. So it's a kind of also a period where you want to go and review things that you've signed, or things that you're going to sign. Just go over them again, review them, just make sure everything's in order. So there's all those aspects. Luna, people drive like assholes during Mercury retrograde. Haven't noticed. I don't drive anymore, so I don't have a car anymore. I take Uber, so I don't really notice that much. Um, Alexis too. I've heard of a magician who once created a makeshift imaginary circle with his finger. Well, we kind of do that. Um, it's kind of what a lot of ceremonial magicians, Wiccans, etc. do. Neo-pagans. You don't necessarily have to have a dagger or an athame to score the circle. There's a process with the Wiccan circle, for instance, where you kind of like go around in a circle. You imagine, and you point the athame at the ground, and you imagine this blue flame coming up and forming a circle. And you can do that with your fingers. All right. That's quite a common thing, actually. Um, Lighten, the main thing to pay attention to is the planet in question, IRC. It will inform you of the traits that will be affected. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Mars is probably in your midheaven then. Don't know about that. All I know is this, I was born during a Mars retrograde. As I said, I have an astrologer. I leave that all to them. It's just like I have an accountant. Just don't ask me to do my finances. I'm terrible at it. Um, I guess that's straight off of Mars. Ultimate transport delay. Yeah, but I don't think that's got to do with the Mercury retrograde. It's been going on for a bit longer, I think. Yeah. As a result of War Two, Mars domain. Yes, there is that. Um, Alexa is very true and important, and Mercury and documentation. Yeah, signing things, getting all your paperwork sorted out. Luna, don't make big decisions during Mercury retrograde. Don't buy cars or other forms of transport, and don't get a radical new haircut or tattoo. You'll regret it. Wait until the retrograde is over. I agree, yes. It's just interesting you brought up new haircuts and tattoos with all the cars and transportation stuff. The heavens are the personal aspect that deals with business and the like. Yeah, I think it is then. Probably. I know Mars has a very big influence on all of that stuff, but I don't know. Can't remember. Agatha. Okay, what are the start and stop dates? All right, so it's starting. I always find the shadow periods to be the worst though, but it's starting tomorrow. Um, let me just go to AstroSeek. You just bought a new car. Well, you bought it, so that's okay. It's all sorted and you've got it, and you've signed the papers. You might just want to go have a look over it because, as I said, there's a shadow period before and after as well, which can get a bit sticky sometimes because it's when the planet's slowing down or going out of station and speeding up again. Um, where's the retrogrades? Retrogrades. So Mercury starts today and ends July 23rd. There you go, 24 days. Alexis, have you got magic occultism? I have. We're doing this one today on the book club, Patreon book club. Oh wait, I've frozen. Hold on. I can't show you if I've frozen. Oh, here we go. I think I'm coming back. Okay. That one, Backwards Witchcraft by Jake Richards. Lovely book. I'm going to be doing the review of that for the book club. What else have I read? Why am I freezing all the time? What's going on here? I should change my camera. I think I'm back. Okay. We'll just leave it for now. I've read that. What else did I read? I'm busy reading 3 or 4 books at the moment. Can't remember anything else. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to stick with that one for now. Can't remember the other ones. Um, yeah, this is great. Especially, it's Appalachian witchcraft, conjure. So, yeah, conjure and folk magic from Appalachia, which is absolutely lovely. Love, love, love. I've lost my place. Hold on. Alexis at Agatha, congrats on the new car. Wish you many enjoyable and safe travels ahead. Me too. I think everybody does. Psycat, we had a 3 hour power outage here in the morning, earthing and overcurrent problem here. I wonder if it was Mercury retrograde. I hate power outages. It's quite possible. As I said, it's that shadow period. It's slowing down, but it stations tomorrow. That's why, because my whole computer's slowing down again. I need to reformat my computer. Let me try sort this out and then I will come back to everything because then it should have sped up again. Here we go. Yes, my computer is also going to Mercury retrograde. I'm not going to put the computer in the Mercury microwave though, so that would be a bad thing. Where am I? Kasim, do you know of any magic you can use to forget spoilers or other bad memories? I've heard it is possible to do. You could do a form of recapitulation. Um, yeah, I mean, you'd use recapitulation to kind of remove memories in a sense. But I mean, the main reason you do it is to pull your power back and give your power back to the person who holds the memory or you have memories of. Um, you could do sigil magic to forget about bad things. But at the same time, you might not. It might not be a good idea to forget bad memories. It's probably better to actually work through them. And which is why recapitulation is really what you're doing there. It's not about forgetting the memories. It's about understanding them, working them back, working with them, through them, getting to the other side, and pulling your power back, taking your power back, which is a very important thing. So you're not forgetting about them, but you are resolving them. Um, so yeah, it's usually a better idea. But you don't really want bad memories, bad things that happen. I know they're terrible, they're traumatic, and everything else, but they are part of who you are. So to forget about them might not be the best option, which is why we do shadow work. Yeah, deal with it. Um, all right. Blah 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 blah. I've heard it is possible to do. Um, Agatha, I bought it last month, brand new, first new car my whole life. That's a nice feeling. I remember doing that. Yeah. I used to always have the broken up, beaten up, old jalopy breakdown all the time cars, and then I got it wasn't a brand new, it was a year old car once, and it was like, oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. The problem was it then started falling to pieces, and I had to take it back. No luck with me and cars. Yeah, which is why I let other people drive me around now. Alexis, that's great. Thanks for sharing. It's a pleasure. Um, what's a spoiler? Yeah, I was wondering about that as well, the spoilers or other bad memories. I guess memories that spoil your life. I don't know. When you find out information from a story, movie, or game that spoils your enjoyment. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Not sure. Don't think anybody's asked if you can forget about spoilers. Yeah. Alexis too. And of course, let's not forget that, or what we talked about the previous week, the protector daemon of travelers is Bathin. Oh yes, yeah. Actually, yeah. Uh, Agatha, if you want to, I'm sure you were here last week when we spoke about that. If you work with the Goetia spirits, Bathin, just or draw the sigil, put it in your car. Acts as a protection for travelers. Um, Lowton, I have Jupiter in retrograde. Oof. Oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not sure that would be a good thing. Kind of removing abundance and increase. But how often does it go into retrograde? Curious about that now. Because it's a bit of a slow planet. Oh no, it's not that bad then. Because it's actually better than Mars. What are you humming and hawing about, oofing about? Because Jupiter goes into retrograde once a year, with each retrograde period lasting for approximately 4 months. So during that time, everything's going to be increasing for you. So every 4 months of the year, it's not that bad. Come on. I only get my boost every 2 years. Hmm. Um, Psychic. Well, I need a stop power outage spell or spirit then. Caused many online interview rejections for real as I could not attend or abrupt long breaks in between. I think I've lost the plot now. Not sure what you're talking about now. What were we talking about? Oh, oh, the power outages. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you'd hate it in South Africa. I'm afraid. Especially, well, it's not so bad now because we don't have um the usual power outages. But we used to get like power outage in the area for like 2 hours at least once a day. Sometimes when it really got bad, it would be like 3 or 4 times a day. So we had to find a way to work around it. It's called a generator. You might want to get a generator and then I don't know, or a UPS or something like that, which gives you a backup. There you go. And you won't have the problem. Um, Alexis, have had the same happen to me. Yeah, power outages are a pain in the ass. But as I said, if they're a regular thing, you need to just prepare for them. Um, Agatha, can I draw a simplified version of the sigil? Seems like there's some value to that. Yes, you can. Yeah. Um, what you really need to do when you're drawing the bath in the sigil, what you really need to do is tap into the key of it almost. Um, I'm gonna just link to Joseph Peterson's website and the Goetia there. Because they were very rough drawings of the sigils. Twilight Grotto, Twilight Grotto, Twilight Grotto. Why is it not coming up? Twilight Archives. There we go. And then to the Oz Goetia. What battle to find it amongst all these? Key of Solomon. The lesser Key of Solomon. Dun, dun, dun. Right here. Dun, dun. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this is the original drawings, the original manuscript, I believe, of the Goetia. So look at Bathin. I don't know which one Bathin was now. Bathin number 18. Yeah, that is a bit complicated, I must say. Yeah. But do your best. You can. What I tend to do is I take a little piece of paper like these little post-it things, right? And I'll actually put it over the screen. I'll just trace it with a pencil, and then I will go over it again. But what you want to really do with the sigils, with the seals, is tap into them. So go over the lines, and as you're going over the lines, just think about the name, like Bathan. If you are interested in doing demonology at all, grab the N for Bathin, and you can sort of repeat the N as you're drawing it, and just go over the lines, keep going over with pencil, and go over like 2 or 3 times, and what you'll find is it kind of feels like it starts coming to life. You might find that it starts to pulse, or kind of like it lifts off the paper visually, because you kind of gazing at it and you're just going over the lines over and over and over again in a certain order, and you're chanting the N, or you're just using the name, saying Bathin, Bathin, Bathin over and over and over again, and it kind of brings the whole thing to life, and that's kind of unlocking the door. It's the activation of the seal itself. So give it a try, um, and see what happens. Um, Listen, if you are Romani, there is also Sarah Lakali for traveller protection, patron of the Roma, and a form of Kali. Don't know how many people here are Romani. But it also comes with some other heavy stuff. I'll be very unlikely to find a teacher in other than myself in metaphysical matters, for example. Yeah. Agatha says, Sarah Kali, cool. I am not Romani, but I would be interested to research her. Oops, losing my place. Lighten Psycat Furfur is associated with lightning, so maybe him. Oh yeah, there you go. Try calling Furfur if you're having a problem with that. Castle's here. Hello, Castle. Yes, Alex, and thank you, returned. Alexis 2. Some people believe that the evil eye is worse than most curses, not far from the truth. No, no. I think the evil eye has a. We talk about egregores and thought forms a lot, and I totally believe that when you do a spell, it doesn't matter what spell it is, it can be some simple folk magic, for instance. But I believe that what you do is you actually create a thought form while you're doing the spell, and that is what gets sent out. Um, and if we consider the extent that the evil eye has, the over centuries and over various cultures across the planet, it's been around, it's been spoken about, it's been feared, it's been, combated and everything else. I'm pretty sure there's a huge big egregore around the whole evil eye aspect. So yes, it would become one of the worst curses there is. Um, but when we talk about the evil eye, it's really about unless it's a witch doing owl blinking or something like that. It really is about a group of people being jealous of you. Um, that's what the evil eye is. So unless you've got a group of people who don't like you, you're okay. Lawson, I'm Romani, Andrea is too. Yeah, I know Andrea is. I know, with you included, I think I know 4 people who are Romani. So not a lot. Very interesting though. Agatha, it's alive. What's alive? um, Later. A bit tragic on the other hand, though. Roma history is rough. Yeah, I totally get that. It's very, very rough. Psychiat, it could be Marvis as well. Yeah, you could. Since he is for healing and also mechanical machinery stuff, based on last week's info. Yes, you could definitely call Marvis for that. That would be a thing. Owl blinking. Oh, most communities keep it to themselves. Owl blinking is a kind of a term given for when a witch. It's part of witch training, really. It's the witch training. When we go to Harry Potter school, um, it's kind of part of the training, or used to be part of the training. I don't think it is anymore. What you do is you stare at somebody, and you project intention to them or at them, and it's usually kind of related to the evil eye because you're looking at, staring at, and projecting this kind of it's usually revolves around projecting a curse. Let's put it that way. Um, so yeah, that's why I say it's kind of associated with that, and it's not the evil eye in the sense of a group of people who are causing this thing to happen. Castle, small world. Oh, Castle is Romani as well. Okay. But raised Irish child. Okay. Yeah, small world. Agatha, the sigil is alive when it comes off the page. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you do it? Is that why you said it's alive? Um, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that thing. Right. Let's see. What can I tell you guys? Told you about changes to YouTube or my channel. Uh, yeah, hopefully with the cut back in time as well, I'll be able to spend more time marketing again. I've been swamped. I haven't even done any marketing the past week or two. It's terrible owning your own business. There's too much to do. But yeah, the next workshop's coming up. What date is it? 12th of July. That's the art of the spirit vessel, which is the making of the spirit box. A fetish, in a sense. Um, like I said, before it comes off the page for me. Okay, yeah, there you go. So you know what I'm talking about at least. Castle, I learned to draw sigils by messing up and having to repeat the sigil till it was right. Till it was right, helped me a lot. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. Um, Lotion at Castle, that thing. I hope I'm spelling that right. I can't speak Rumanese, unfortunately. Alexis Bathin's sigil is a little complicated too, I've noticed. It is a very complicated one, yeah, I must say. It's not the easiest of the bunch. Um, Psych Mercury is marketing as well. Yeah, and that might also be why I haven't done much marketing because it's been slowing down. As I said, that I always find the shadow period to be the word leading up to the retrograde to be the worst of the whole thing. Um, Go away. No, what am I doing? Pressing all the wrong buttons here. Okay. Do this. Put that over there. Right. So what else is going on? Nothing else going on with me. What time is it? Yeah, if anybody is, let me now do the book club stuff. So if anybody is on the Patreon book club, we are doing this one today, in case anybody's here and you want to do that. That's the book we're doing today on the book club. If you're not part of the book club and you want to be part of the book club, go join up on the journal tier on Patreon. Next month's book is Six Ways by Aidan Watchter. So we're gonna read that. So how this works is we I put up a list of 5 books each month, and then everybody votes on, well, the month prior to the choosing of the book. So everybody during that month then votes on which book they want to read, and then the one that wins, we read the following month, because I'm in South Africa and sometimes I need a whole month to actually get a book. From the time of ordering to receiving, it's quite often a month. So I give myself a whole month for that. And then we read the book of the month, and then at the end of the month, which is today, we get on a Zoom call and talk about it, or if nobody's on the Zoom call but me, I just do a review of the book. So yeah, I'm trying to get more people interested in that because I think it would be fun and interesting, and we all learn something together. And I also then have a video to do the book review on YouTube. So yeah, I'll just then chop it up and cut it down and give that. Um, all right, so let me get back to where am I now? I've lost my place again. Uh, anything with me? Oh, like I said, the only thing with me recently is that my mother saw the Green Man and some Fae in one of her meditations. That's cool. It's better if you, yeah. I like it's great when you see the Green Man in actual nature. It's something to behold. It's kind of a fleeting image of the face in a tree or something, and then it's gone, but you know you saw it. Agatha, do you have courses for sale? I do actually, quite a few. If you go onto my Patreon into the shop, I know that they're all in there. They're just video courses which are an hour or 2 hours long. I think Meet the Devil is 2.5 hours. So they're kind of like on demand, quick classes type of thing. But yeah, go onto my Patreon, into the shop, and have a look there. They range between $20 and 35, 40 for each one. And then the workshops as well. What I've done it now, so I'm not going to keep repeating it. Each time I repeat the workshops. But so each of the workshops are kind of like recorded, and then put those up for sale as well, which are a bit of a cheaper price than the workshop. But I like the workshops; they're interactive, they're fun. We can get together and do all the stuff together. Castle, seems the machine spirits have been nice to you. Oh, I don't know about that. I can't really say much. My birthday was yesterday. Oh goodness, happy birthday! But yeah, we were talking about it earlier. We're going into Mercury retrograde. It starts tomorrow, so it's stationing at the moment. So not a great time to have a birthday, I would say. Psycat, maybe you can consider a Goetic evocation course as well, involving spirits with whom you have worked closely and still work for clients. Hopefully, it will sell like hotcakes. I've done, regarding Goetic stuff, I have done a 5-part demonology course. It's five videos, which are on the shop. That's general modern demonology though. I did do in the journal tier. I did do a book, which I put on sale, which is a kind of a method of evocation that I kind of worked with the spirits to develop, um, which I think it's a method that the spirits actually kind of wanted to bring across, because I was recently reading Stella Arcanum, I think it is. Can't remember the author now. And it's not the same, but a very similar approach to, working with the planets. Um, in my format, I'm working with the decans, which aligns with the planets and the zodiac and everything else, and you actually align yourself on the wheel to do the evocation. Um, but yeah, so there's a book in there. I'll sell it on my website as well. Vocatio Australis. So I've done those. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Got so much stuff. I think what I'm going to do is I've got my 4 workshops. I'm going to do 4 masterclasses, which will rotate on an annual basis, and then I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to mark it, do my magic, and hopefully that will be my retirement. I need to look at that now. Agatha, happy birthday. Castle, Lowton, Castle, happy birthday. Agatha, I would buy it if not too expensive. Oh, the Goetic course. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna have to do that, I think. Not sure what to do in regards to that, man, honestly. I will give it some thought. Um, yeah, if you guys have any thoughts on what you actually want to see in a Goetic course, is it about the evocation? Do I do the method that I wrote about in Vocatio Australis, or do I broadly speak about different methods, different approaches? I don't know. So much you could do with that. Lowton, it was very. Oh, hang on. Sorry, maybe I should do a 4-month masterclass on that. That could be interesting. Okay. Sorry, brain working. You got me going creative mode again now. It's very dangerous because then I start overloading again. Lowton, it was very specific imagery. She saw a stone gate with his face at the top of the arch, radiating power. Nice. Very cool. Very nice. Um, oh, you're on my Patreon. Okay. Uh, Michael, good morning, Lee. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. Do you have any advice for working with Azazel? He's very misunderstood in Enoch and Leviticus. So the way I approach Azazel is through the aspect of Tubal Cain, which has a very traditional witchcraft um, basis to it. Tubal Cain, I mean, if you go and look at Tubal Cain traditional witchcraft, you're going to come up a lot of information regarding Robert Cochrane, the clan of Tubal Cain, all of those aspects. So Tubal Cain is a very huge, huge, huge big figure within traditional witchcraft. And not all traditional witches will follow this. Not all witches follow Tubal Cain, or the idea of Tubal Cain anyway. But in relation to that, Tubal Cain was the avatar of Azazel, which is why the general kind of story goes, because Tubal Cain's sister was Naama. So when the Watchers came down and they started, walking amongst men, they took on avatars in order to do that. And Tubal Cain was the avatar of Azazel. Um, and therefore, then Naama seduced Azazel and had Asmodeus. Okay, Asmodeus is half half human, half angel, or half jinn. Or half is it half angel, which made jinn? I don't know. A lot of ways to look at this stuff. So I actually look from that perspective, and Azazel is very much the forge god, and the aspects of the forge, the forged fire from the midnight sun and the underworld and all of that stuff, and also in aspects of the forge and the forge god, Azazel taught man how to forge metal, apart from cosmetics. Um, so yeah, I approach it from that traditional witchcraft perspective. There is a great book by Nigel Jackson. I'll just do books and I'll get the title. Just show me on Google. Come on. Might make my life harder. It's The Masks of Misrule, as far as I remember. Hold on, let me find the actual title. But this is a great book from this perspective, because he discusses it from a traditional witchcraft perspective, but it's about what the fuck's this? It's about it's the Luciferian aspect, really. Sorry, the Pillars of Tubal Cain. So go and have a look for the Pillars of Tubal Cain. I'll put a link. Let's see if we can get it. No, okay. This is one of those books that went crazy. Try and find it in PDF format. You're paying $150 for a paperback now. Yeah, this is one of the books that was published by Capel Ben, which they went out of business, and all of their books, just the prices went crazy. Try and find a PDF version, unless you have $150 to spend. I don't. If you do, is the book and the author. There you go. All right, where was I now? Castle, Mercury retrograde is fun. They don't usually bother me. It's Pluto retrograde bothers me more. Full keeps me up all night long. Yeah, Mercury retrogrades don't bother me that much. Every now and again, there's one that kind of screws around with my communication, and I can't talk and things like that. But I seem to be okay this time. Lee, I did finish Magic of the Ordinary. Oh yeah, that was a great book. Hopefully, I spelled that all right. Yeah, Gershon Winkler's Magic of the Ordinary. One of my favorite books. Absolutely brilliant. Um, Agatha. I would love to see your specific technique as inspired by the Goetic. All right, yeah. So maybe I should do a masterclass, 4-month masterclass, where I'll go through kind of like different approaches. We can have a look at how Skinner would do it, for instance, with the very kind of rigid Goetic approach. How it's written in the grimoires versus modern demonology approach, why we use a triangle, why we use a circle, and then go into the aspects of the technique that I developed with the spirits themselves. Um, yeah, okay. Because I've been trying to figure out what to do with those. I got 2 more master classes I want to do. 2 or 3, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's a goal. There we go. Um, all right, that's going to be a while though. I'm not going to do that tomorrow. Sim, I know I did have a thought about Crowley's eons. Maybe we are in the eon of Hecate. The reason I say this is that I find no one working with Horus, but everyone is working with Hecate. You might find it's if you do get into the whole Thelemic Eon thing. Uh, Crowley spoke about the Eon of Horus, but what's his name spoke about the Eon of Mart, which could possibly, with a bit of a stretch of the Plasticine, resemble Hecate. So maybe there is something there that you want to actually have a look at. Yeah, but have a look for the Eon of Mart or Ma'at. Um, you might find some relationships there, but just be careful. You tend to come up with a lot of what's his name, Kenneth Grant rubbish. intermingled with all of that stuff. So yeah, you might end up down the road of the tunnels of Set and believing that Lovecraft Cthulhu mythos is real and all that rubbish. So yeah, be careful when you go down those roads. Scary things down there. You said because I remember Cindy Brannan mentioned in her book, "We Are in the Age of Hecate." So yeah, that got me thinking maybe Crowley misread the scene. I don't know. I don't think Crowley misread anything. I think it's just a development that's happened. But I kind of understand why Brannan would say that. It's because so many people are flocking to Hecate at the moment, and more and more and more. My personal understanding or reason or idea of why that's happening is because when we do magic with specifically with spirits, we need an intermediary. And this is how we were taught, but it's not being taught anymore. Which is why we have this whole idea of the sacred marriage, the Hieros Gamos, um, knowledge conversation with the holy guardian angel, union with your fetch mate, all of this. It doesn't matter what culture you go into, there's going to be some kind of sacred marriage that happens with an aspect of your higher self, whatever terminology we want to use. But that acts as this intermediary between you and divinity. So when we work with gods and stuff, we kind of like on spirits, any kind of spirits, it's a good idea to have an intermediary. We find it in Grimorium Verum, where we have this intermediary that we go to before we call on one of the three, Lucifer, Beelzebub. Is it Asmodeus? Don't know. Brains stop working for a minute. And then you call the spirit that you actually want to get to. But there's this intermediary spirit, the gatekeeper. And I believe that everybody's flocking to Hecate because Hecate is this intermediary. She is this one that traverses all of the planes, all of the realms, the one that is the gatekeeper and the keykeeper. Um, that's why I think this is happening. Everybody doesn't realize it, but they're seeking out an intermediary spirit so that they can actually contact the divine. This goes right back to Sumerian, Mesopotamian, Babylonian, where they actually spoke about the Sukal, which was this intermediary between man and divinity, between the gods, the man and the gods. You had the Sukal, which was that go-between. It's always been there, but for some reason we're just disregarding it now because, you know, TikTok can't, so it doesn't have enough time to fit that in, I guess. I don't know. Lowton said half angels were the Nephilim. Yeah, but I think that, when with the mythology of Asmodeus being um, the child of Azazel and Naama is that that is Nephilim because the Nephilim came from the union of the Watchers with human women. Um, yeah, Psycat. All right, we've got 10 minutes left. I'm going to get through the chat quickly, and then I'm going to have to go. I have to go today because I've got the book review stuff later. And yeah, I'm assuming Agatha's going to be on Sarah's uh, Pentacle course later. I'm looking forward to that. If I can stay awake. It starts at 10 p.m. my time. Last time it was 10 o'clock. We only got off at 2 a.m. my time. That was quite a, yeah. Just keep slapping myself. All right, sorry. Psycat. Maybe if you divide the demonology courses and dedicated to different pantheons like Goetia, Decans, Planetary Spirits, and other demons into different affordable courses, you can include your method. It's kind of like what I have at the moment. I've got the modern demonology stuff was really the modern demonology. It was Connolly's method of working. It was popular at the time. It was something I was working with and kind of like created a course around that, which was split into 5 different videos and sold individually. Um, and then I have the book, so which is sold individually. If you're on the journal tier, you can get it for free. So I think I've already kind of got that. I think what this needs to be is a comprehensive masterclass on the method, but also the background, the history, and everything else. Agatha, Tubal Cain, am I spelling that correct? Tubal is spelled correctly. Cain is, Cain and Abel, Cain. Um, that's the spelling for that. You'll also find it as Cain or Tubal Cain, and the Cain is spelled Qayin sometimes. A lot of people spell it that way. Um, Lotan, is Tubal Cain associated with Kotharwakassis? Then he was the Canaanite god of craftsmen. I'm not sure. I've never heard that name before, so I can't really tell you about that. It's possible, but I don't know. Um, I'm not paying 150. No, neither would I. That's why I downloaded it. There's the PDF online. Don't worry. I know there is because I've got it. Yeah, don't tell anybody, especially Nigel. All right, Psycat, different courses, different demons dedicated to each pantheon, not clubbed into a single long duration course. Yes, a method as well. I suppose it could do that as well. So the method I worked on is very specifically with the Goetic demons because it works from the basis of aligning the each spirit with the Deccan um, as it was recorded by the Golden Dawn. Their method of recording that alignment. So it is very, very specific to the Goetic spirits. Can't really work. I was thinking about how I can apply it outside the Goetic, but I don't think really can. Um, Agatha, I could get a wrinkle removed. What you could get a wrinkle removed with $150. What book is absolutely brilliant, and I would pay for that masterclass. What book is absolutely brilliant? Regarding what though? The Goetic or something else? Um, yeah, let me know which what that was. Just trying to see if you spoke about it now later. No, okay. Yeah, let me know which book you're referring to. Steve, hello, Steve. Do you see a difference between the raising of Kundalini in a yogi and raising the adversarial black serpent within an occult practitioner? Not really, no. I wouldn't really refer to it as the adversarial black serpent. That's very kind of edgelordy. I would refer to it as the dragon. From a traditional witchcraft perspective. Actually, right, we raise the dragon, it raises from the root to the crown, and then you crown the dragon. And during that process, you learn to ride the dragon. If you don't do it properly, it rides you, and you're screwed for the rest of your life. You really are. There's no coming back from that. You're fucked, completely, utterly fucked. If the dragon rides you, you're done for. You have spiritual psychosis for your entire existence. So yeah, you don't screw around with this stuff, obviously. But yeah, it's same thing. It's about raising the energy from the root to the crown. Um, I think the dark goddesses are rising. I think they have been for a while, actually. All right, I'm gonna have to bring this to an end. I'm gonna have to go in 5 minutes. Um, Lotus and Kali is a great gatekeeper. Spirit even breathes wrong and she stamps it. Agatha, like priests are intermediaries for Catholics. No, you see, I definitely wouldn't equate that with the spirits. No, the the priests in this case are, I wouldn't even say intermediaries. I would say they are stopgaps. Um, they don't want the people talking directly with God because that gives them power. they want to hold the power. So yeah, no, definitely. No, we're going to push that one over to that side. Not create them. No, don't do that. All right, Kasim, thanks for answering my question. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure. Hope it was a good answer. I always try to come up with good answers. Agatha, what time zone are you in? I am in South Africa, so I am in +2 GMT. I'm kind of the same at the moment. I'm in the same time zone as France. We don't have daylight savings here, so we don't do the hour shift twice a year. Luna, one of the downsides of leaving the Christian church is that don't get Sundays off anymore. Cleaning the scum from my cleansing bath out of the bath, hence my quietness. Well, you can use this. You can use this 2 hours as an excuse. Okay, there you go. But it's good. It's good to clean your bath. It's very good to clean your bath. Tycat makes sense. Luna, chat though. Thanks, guys. Oh, great chat though. That's a pleasure. Thanks for being here. Lighten the price of freedom. Agatha, you were talking about a book that was absolutely brilliant, but I missed the name. Oh, it was that The Pillars of Tubal Cain. Nigel Jackson, great book, which is the $150, yeah. And Lorton said priests are more akin to a practitioner, if anything. Yeah, I agree with that, yeah. Right, okay. All right. So I will see everybody next week. As I said, if you are interested in the book club, we're doing this one today, and then we're on to the new one, which is Six Ways by Aidan Watchter. So if you want to join the book club from the start of the new month, now's the time. And I'll see Agatha later in Sarah's class. Yeah, have a good one, and I'll see everybody next week. Thank you. Have a fantastic week, and I hope Mercury retrograde doesn't kick anybody's ass too badly. Cheerio. Bye bye.